विक्रम बाल वार्ता। लेखक उपाध्याय श्री विश्रुत्यश विजय जी महाराज साहेब। प्रायोजक राजेश कामदार, नागपुर। The brave Skandagupt
Prince was adamant. He asked his father to allow him to go to the war zone and fight against the enemy. The king thought that the prince was too young to go to the war. He said, "Time's son. The enemy is very cruel and violent. They don't follow any discipline. They do not care whether it is a child, a lady or an old age person. They kill everyone cruelly." But the prince was bold and courageous. His father's words could not change his decision. He said, "Death cannot scare a soldier. I can sacrifice my life for my country." The king was proud and happy listening the brave words of his son. He gave him permission to go to the battlefield. This young brave boy was the son of King of Magad, Kumargat. A large army of Huns had gathered at the other side of the Himalayas. They were preparing to attack Magad and nearby kingdoms. As soon as the king got this news, he got alert and ordered his officers to prepare for war. The young prince was eager to participate in the war and had already got permission from the king to do so. He left for war with an army of nearly 2 lakh soldiers without worrying about the tough terrain and freezing cold winds of Himalayas. The Huns were surprised to see him. Usually the strategy of Huns was to attack first, but here it was the reverse story. He had come forward to attack them. The Huns had no time to prepare or even run back. He and his valiant soldiers attacked the Hu army recklessly. The battlefield was full of bloodshed all around. All were scared of the young prince. Wherever he passed by, they ran away from there to save their lives. The Hu army was scattered now. After some time they lost energy and hope. The field was vacant within some time. This is how the young prince got a remarkable victory over the so-called wild and cruel Hu army. After this victory, when he returned to Magad, he was given a warm welcome by one and all, just like when Ram returned to Ayodhya after defeating Ravan. When he became king, he spread his country right up to present-day Afghanistan and Iran. He was among the few great kings in the Indian subcontinent. History is testimony to this. What did we learn? Have courage and protect your motherland. 2. Adventure of Girl. Proud of Robuapui. Jumping into the whirlpool of water, she saved her friends without caring for her own life. The northeastern state of Mizoram is the G land of mountains surrounded by magnificent hills and ravines. An attractive city in the state of Mizoram is situated at an elevation of 4,000 feet above sea level. From there one can see the valley of Talwang River to the east and the beautiful hills of Kurtalang to the north. This is a story of 3rd March 2016. The students had gone for a picnic on the riverbank. As soon as the girls started going towards the river, their teacher warned them, "Girls, the flow of the river is strong. Also, since it is a rocky river, there will be swirls in the river, so don't bathe in the river. Take care, this stone is covered by a lot of algae." While Robuapui was warning her friends, one girl's leg slipped and she fell into the stream of the river. Seeing this, the other friend grabbed her hand and tried to save her, but she too slipped due to algae and was unable to save herself. Neither of the two friends knew how to swim. Suddenly everyone saw Robuapui courageously swimming towards them. The river was about 18 feet deep. Yet she moved on fearlessly. She approached one of her friends trapped in the swirls. She grabbed her hair and pulled her to the shore. As Robuapui pushed her friend to the shore, she was pulled out by the people standing on the shore. She also saved her other friend, Sarah. But now she was very tired and her courage was breaking down against the strong current of water and she started drowning. Seeing this, one of them went and told the bus driver. He rushed and jumped into the river to save her, but unfortunately, after 2 or 3 hours of hard work, Robuapui's body was found. Robuapui earned a lot of praise in the local newspapers of Mizoram. This brave girl's courage, patience and alertness had saved the lives of 2 of her friends. Robuapui's parents accepted the award on 23rd January 2017 at the hands of the Prime Minister of the country in the capital, New Delhi. What did we learn? Recently, about 32 students committed suicide at Kota, in Rajasthan. The rare human life was wasted only due to lack of patience and understanding. Blessed is Robuapui. She jumped into the water and saved her friends but lost her life. We should also take inspiration and do our best for others. 3. Saved the child's life. Ashmil's mother picked up a bundle of clothes on her head. Ashmil grabbed the washing paddle of the clothes and started walking with her. As they walked, the two came to the banks of the Chalia river. Ashmil handed over the washing paddle to his mother and began to play in the river sand. The waters of the river began to splash near Ashmil. Suddenly, his leg slipped. He shouted, "Amma! Amma!" Hey, Ashmil! His mother's senses were blown away when she saw Ashmil floating in the water. Save! Save! Hearing her cries, a boy was seen coming and running from a distance. He was Aqib Muhammad and he knew swimming. Aqib dived straight into the water and in no time approached Ashmil. He grabbed Ashmil's hair. Ashmil was struggling. Aqib dragged him to the shore. Aqib's presence of mind and courage saved the life of a child. It was 7th December 2013. This happened in a small village called Mazdure in Mavur Taluka in the Kozhikode district of Kerala in South India. As soon as the incident was reported through the press, Aqib's bravery and courageous feat began to be discussed all around the surrounding community. On learning of this, Aqib Muhammad N.K. was conferred the National Child Bravery Award on 24th January 2015 in New Delhi. What did we learn? The significance of your art lies in being useful to someone. 4. Price of courage. At the risk of his life, Tuldev saved a small child. The state of Manipur is located in the southeast of the northeastern states of India. In the north, Nagaland meets Assam in the west, Mizoram in the south, and in the east, the boundary of this state meets our neighbor country Myanmar. The weather here is pleasant and the seasons are lovely. Imphal is the capital of Manipur. There are scattered houses in the vicinity of Yiskul Kichuhambalakai Lake in West Imphal. There is also the house of 9-year-old Tuldev Sharma. Tuldev stood up and came out. He went to the bathroom in the yard. As he urinated, his gaze went to the lake in front of him. He saw a 3-year-old boy down to get something on the shore of the lake. His leg slipped and he fell into the 6 feet deep water of the lake. Tuldev went and grabbed the collar of the boy's shirt in the lake. But Tuldev didn't know how to pull him out of the lake, nor did he know how to swim. If his own leg slips while dragging the boy out, both of them will drown in the lake. But Tuldev used foresight. A bamboo pole was nearby, and he grabbed it with his other hand and started shouting loudly. Everyone ran towards him. Going in a jiffy, they pulled out the 2 boys safely. As soon as the incident appeared in the newspapers of Impal, those who came to know about it began to applaud the courage of Tuldev. When the incident took place on 15 August 2013, came to light with the National Council for Children's Welfare, Tuldev Sharma's name was selected for the National Bravery Award, and on 24 January 2015, he received the award from the Prime Minister. What did we learn at the last moment of his life? Tuldev will have the satisfaction that he saved someone's life in his life. If we get such an opportunity, we should not leave it. 5. Wow! Sia saves her brother. Sia and her brother started playing a game in the courtyard. It was 14th April 2015. Sia was playing with her brother and her uncle's daughters who lived next door. Her brothers, who had reached the roof, were calling Sia. Sia was looking for her brother around. All of a sudden she saw her brother. He was still and could not speak. As soon as she saw it, Sia realized that he had come into contact with the electric wire. As he was shivering, she was taught in the school that wood, cloth, etc. were called insulators, so if there was such a thing, there would be no electric current. She looked everywhere and went closer to her brother. She grabbed her brother's shirt and pulled it tightly. In doing so, her brother was cut off by the lightning wire but fell unconscious. Pulling too hard, Sia also fell away. Seeing her younger brother unconscious, Sia started shouting for help. Hearing Sia's voice, her parents rushed in. Sia showed her brother unconscious at the fingertips. Sia's dad made Sia stand up. So her mother took the unconscious younger brother in her lap and started crying. "Dear, what has happened to your brother?" his dad asked. "He was glued to the electric wire. I grabbed the shirt and pulled it, so he got free but fell unconscious." Sia's brother's life was saved as he was taken to the hospital. He came to his senses as he got treatment. Sia Vamnasa Khode's presence of mind, fearlessness, and brave decision in time saved her brother's life. When the people in the neighborhood and the village discussed this, everyone started praising her a lot. Her name was selected for the National Bravery Award. On 23 January 2017, she was honored with the National Bravery Award by the Prime Minister of the country, Sia Vamnasa Khode, for her heroic and fearless work. The people of Karnataka began to feel proud that a 10-year-old little girl, Sia, reached Delhi as a brave girl from the state of Karnataka. What did we learn? What does it mean if you live for yourself even for 100 years? On the other hand, if you are useful to someone even for a day in your life, then those moments are successful and meaningful to remember forever. 6. Land of Blue Mountains. The sister who laid down her life for her little cousin. In the northeastern states of India, surrounded by magnificent mountains and valleys, Mizoram is called the land of the Blue Mountains or the Hill People's land. This is the story of one such village in the hilly area of Mizoram. An incident took place on the morning of 18th March 2013. 13-year-old girl H. Lalhariyatpui, her elder brother and their uncle's 2-year-old son living next door, went out to the city to buy LPG cylinders and rice. Soon, they bought LPG cylinders and rice and were returning to the village in their car. Suddenly, Lalhariyatpui's brother felt that the car's tire was punctured. He took the car aside, got down and started looking at the tires. The rice bag was kept on the side where the tire was punctured, so they thought to keep the bag on the other side to make it easy to change the tire. "All right, brother. "Let me help you," Lalhariyatpui said, and got down from the car. Both the siblings began to roll the rice bag towards the other side. Suddenly, their car began to go down the slope. Lalhariyatpui saw that there was a deep valley below. Her uncle's 2-year-old son was sitting in the car. Lalhariyatpui and her brother tried very hard to stop the car with all their strength, but all their attempts went in vain. Lalhariyatpui's brother asked her to move away from the car because it was now moving at speed and there was a threat to her life. Yet, Lalhariyatpui kept trying to stop the car. When she opened the car door to pull out the little child, it hit her and she fell on the ground. The car ran over her and she was seriously injured. She was taken to the hospital but she couldn't survive. Lalhariyatpui sacrificed her life in an attempt to save her uncle's son. Her name was recommended for the National Bravery Award by the Mizoram government. The Bapu Gaidhani Award for Children was announced to be given to H. Lalhariyatpui posthumously for the courageous work done by a girl of just 13 years and 10 months. She had laid down her life to save her little cousin without caring for her own life. Accordingly, on 23 January 2017 H. Lalhariyatpui's parents accepted the award at the hands of the Prime Minister of the country. 7. Have courage. Midhun jumps into a well and saves the life of a boy. "Dad, teach me how to ride a bicycle," Srihari said. "Yes, that's right. Give him a bicycle, give it to him. If Srihari learns to ride a bicycle, he will help me with household work," his mother said, taking her son's side. Srihari met his friend, Rameshwar, on the way and said that he wants to learn how to ride a bicycle and asked him to join. Both of them went to Abdul Chacha's cycle shop. "Chacha, we want to rent a bicycle," Srihari said. Rameshwar and Srihari took off with a bicycle. "Okay, start cycling now." "I'll hold from behind," Rameshwar said while giving support to Srihari from behind. Srihari started cycling in the field. He took 2-3 rounds. Rameshwar felt that Srihari had now learned how to keep his balance, so he stopped holding the bicycle from behind. Srihari was now riding a bicycle himself. "Take a big round now," Rameshwar told him. Suddenly Srihari was terrified to see a jeep coming towards him at full speed. In panic, he began to take the bicycle to one side of the road. He didn't know that there was a well on the side. He collided with the well's parapet with force. The bicycle fell to one side, but Srihari fell into the well. Rameshwar couldn't gather courage to save Srihari. He started crying and shouting. Midhun was coming from a distance. He saw the scene. As he approached, he looked into the well, knowing that a boy had fallen in. The well was about 8 feet deep. Midhun made a bold decision without thinking much and jumped into the well. He rescued Srihari and pulled him out. Srihari got smeared with muck and was a little hurt too. This is from 12th January 2014. The incident took place in the small village of Chitira Fotradi in Porora Taluka of Hunnar district in the southern Indian state of Kerala. The young boy, aged 14, with great courage and presence of mind and risking his own life, saved the life of another young boy. As the story of his valor spread all around, Midhun P.'s name was sent to the Indian Council for Child Welfare for the National Bravery Award. On 24th January 2015, Midhun was honored with the National Bravery Award at the hands of the Prime Minister, and a festival of joy broke out in his small village in Kerala. 8 Gem of Mojikkara. Anjit saved the lives of 2 children. Naseem, mom was right. The sea is in full and tide right now. Look at those big waves, Sanjay said. Both could not swim properly in the rough sea. Drowning, they started shouting. Help, help. A boy named Anjit who came to play saw from a far distance that those two boys were drowning. He came running and jumped into the water 15 to 20 feet deep. Anjit knew how to swim well. During swimming, he approached Naseem. He grabbed Naseem's hair and pulled him to shore. Then Anjit again jumped in the gushing current of water and started looking for Sanjay. Sanjay had swallowed the water and was in a semi-conscious state. After a lot of hard work, Anjit pulled Sanjay out and brought him ashore. In the meantime, people from the village also arrived. The lives of both Sanjay and Naseem were saved by giving them first aid. The village was abuzz with talks of Anjit's brave and courageous feat. It was 15th December 2013. The story of the incident of this small village called Mojikkara in Thalasserita Taluka of Hunnur district in South India reached Delhi. Anjit was conferred the National Bravery Award by the National Council for Child Welfare, New Delhi, at the hands of the Prime Minister on 24th January 2015. 9. Courage is life. Anshika Pandey fights the attacker. In a small village in Uttar Pradesh, people too are in a hurry to go to work as soon as they wake up. At that time, Anshika Pandey had also left for school on her bicycle. It was 14th September 2015. She was getting a little late for school. So, she was cycling fast, ringing the bell, trin, trin. She must have covered a distance of barely 500 meters when an SUV sports car approached her. The driver stopped the car and signaled Anshika to stop. What is it? Anshika asked. We come from outside. Can you show me where this place is? The driver in the front said and began to show her the address on a piece of paper in his hand. Anshika read the address and started showing the place. The driver said, I don't understand. Please show it to sir sitting on the back seat. So, Anshika backed her bicycle a bit and started showing the address. Suddenly, the rear door of the car opened. The man who sat behind grabbed Anshika's hair and tried to pull her into the car. Anshika slung her feet into the car door so that it couldn't be closed. She tried to get free her hair from his grip. But the man held tight. The driver opened a bottle and gave it to the man. He tried to put the liquid from the bottle in Anshika's eyes. Anshika dug her sharp teeth in his hand and he screamed. The bottle in his hand fell into the car. At that time, a friend of Anshika's came there. She saw Anshika struggling with the kidnappers and started shouting for help, save, save. Seeing this, the kidnapper tried to stab Anshika in the face with a knife as he felt that they would get caught. But Anshika, with great presence of mind, covered her face with her left hand. Her hand began to bleed as she was injured by the knife. Meanwhile, Anshika's friend was trying to stop the motorists on the way asking for help. So, the kidnapper was afraid to stay in this place any longer. He tried a couple of times to forcefully close the car door but without success. He finally pushed Anshika out and sped away with the car. Seeing the injured Anshika and her friend, a rickshaw puller stood by. He took them to the hospital. Her friend informed Anshika's parents and they too came. Anshika came home after being bandaged and treated at the hospital. The school principal and all the students also came to know about the incident when they spoke at the prayer meeting. When Anshika came to the school, she was honored by the school family. Anshika fearlessly confronted the attackers in this manner and was admired by all for her amazing courage. A native of Uttar Pradesh, MS. Anshika Pandey was barely 14 years and 8 months old. The National Bravery Award was recommended for her heroic act. On being accepted, she was honored with the National Bravery Award by the National Council for Child Welfare, New Delhi on 3rd January 2017 at the hands of the Prime Minister of the country. 10. Don't play with water. Meghalaya's adventurer Stevens saves a life. Meghalaya is a state in the northeast of India with an incomparable heritage of nature. Most of the area here is covered with forests and dense bushes. There are a total of 7 districts in this state. Mairang, a green village, is located near the Ningstoin, the headquarters of Khasihil, a district close to the capital, Shillong. This incident dates back to 4th July 2013. As the rainy season had already begun, the lake was flooded with new water coming in. Government High School was located on the opposite bank of the lake. Calvin Stone and 3 of his friends were playing by the lakeside. His friend said to Calvin, "It's not raining since this morning, Calvin. It's been very suffocating. Let's have a bath in the lake." As the friends falsely praised him, Calvin got ready to go for a bath. The 4 friends went near the lake, kept their clothes on the side, and started bathing. At the same time, they started to splash water and tease each other. "Save, save," they heard. Calvin's friends at first thought he was joking, so they didn't pay proper attention. But when they saw that Calvin was actually drowning, they were also terrified. For none of them knew how to swim. Now everyone started shouting in panic. School had got over at that time. While coming, Stevenson Lariniang realized that these boys were drowning in the water. He immediately ran towards the lake. He placed his school bag on the bank of the lake, took off his clothes and jumped into the lake. Lake water was 6 to 8 feet deep. But Stevenson knew how to swim. He grabbed Calvin by his hair and began to pull him towards the shore. His friends then helped him. Finally, Stevenson, with his courage, bravery and timely action, rescued Calvin Stone and saved his life. Stevenson Lariniang was awarded the National Bravery Award at the hands of the Prime Minister in Delhi on 24th January 2015 after Stevenson's name was suggested by the National Council for Child Welfare. 11. True Friendship. Mesak K of Mizoram. In the northeast of our country Bharat, there is a beautiful state called Mizoram. Tiao River flows about 14 kilometers from its town Thangasai. This is the midday time of 28 November 2016. Some people thought that the weather was good to go out for a picnic. "Uncle, are you going to the river Tiao?" Mesak asked. "All right. All right. It's okay, we just want to go for a walk and bathe there." All the boys climbed into his tractor trolley. "We are going to be right here until you come with the pile of stones," said Mesak. "Where's Lalhutda?" Mesak asked. Lalhutda was his friend. All the other friends looked around. If he came with them, then where did he go? While talking, Mesak looked far away into the river stream. "Hey, look. Look. How far Lalhutda has gone in the water. I feel like he is drowning. What will happen now?" His friend expressed concern. Mesak, without a moment's delay, jumped into the river and began to swim toward Lalhuthada. The depth of water was more than 5 feet here. Mesak, too, began to tense in the flow of the river, but he tried to save Lalhuthara by grabbing him. Friends standing on the shore shouted and tried to save them. There was no other person on the banks of that lonely river, so no one could have come to rescue them. Luckily, from a distance, the tractor full of stones appeared to be coming back. Mesak's friends ran towards it. The tractor driver stopped the tractor and jumped into the water and swam towards the two boys. But a lot of time had elapsed. Still, he pulled them out and with the help of his friends took them in the tractor to a city hospital. The doctor examined the boys and declared both of them dead. "Auntie, this happened when Mesak went to save Lalhuthda." Mesak tried to save his friend's life by jumping into the river very boldly and bravely, despite he himself not being able to swim well. On 24th January 2015, tears welled up in the eyes of his parents while accepting the National Bravery Award posthumously. The Prime Minister lauded Mesak's valor and paid tributes to the brave child. 12 persevere through difficulties. Akshit and Akshita Sharma catches thief at the risk of life. The school bus moved toward residential areas after passing through the congested traffic of Delhi city. The two brothers and sisters got down from the bus with their bags on their shoulders. When they came home, they saw that the front iron gate was open. Both of them entered. The wooden door of their flat was closed. She started knocking on the door. Voice came from inside. "Who is it?" Akshit and Akshita found the voice unfamiliar. Akshita looked in silently through the ventilator above the door and was surprised. Two unidentified men were walking around the drawing room in her house. In the meantime, Akshit kept knocking on the door. One of the thieves jumped off the balcony with the booty and fled. Seeing another thief approaching the balcony, Akshit threw his school bag to one side and ran towards him. He had a bag and another piece of luggage in both his hands. Both the siblings caught hold of the thief tightly and started screaming loudly. "Thief! Thief!" The crowd outside nabbed the man. Police asked Akshita and Akshit to come to the police station to narrate the facts of the case. When they went to there, a written complaint was lodged. The police inspector appreciated the courage shown by the two young siblings to arrest the thief. On the basis of the information, the police also nabbed the other thief who had earlier escaped. This is the case of 8th December 2015. On 23rd January 2017, when Akshit and Akshita Sharma were honored with the National Bravery Awards by the Prime Minister, both his parents and neighbors were overjoyed. 13. Mother Ganga will not let me drown. Labhanshu saves the lives of two persons in the gushing flow of river Ganga. Uttarakhand is well known for its pilgrimage centers like Rishikesh and Kedareshwar. The mountainous region of the Himalayas and the natural beauty of the dense forest are mesmerizing. Many pilgrims from different parts of the country and abroad come here. They take advantage of bathing in pure waters of Ganga caused by melting of Himalayan snow in the summer. During floods, the river overflows. Someshwarnagar is located on Dayanand Ashram Road in Rishikesh on the banks of the Ganga. Pahalwan market is well known here. The incident dates back to 24th May 2014. That day during afternoon, the sun was on its head. A young man of 15 to 16 years of age was practicing wrestling on the banks of the rising Ganges. Labhanshu saw a man descending into the river to drink water. It occurred to him that he should stop him, but before that, the man's leg slipped and he fell into the river. The man's friend also went in to save him. Neither of them knew how to swim. Labhanshu got an idea of the situation. He ran suddenly and jumped into the gushing river. At that time, Labhanshu, who had made his body stronger with exercise, was moving towards both the persons who were struggling with the rapid flow of water. Seeing Labhanshu approaching him, one of them tried to latch on to him to save himself, but Labhanshu was careful. He didn't get into his grasp. Labhanshu knew that a drowning man would drown others as well. He very cleverly grabbed the man's hair and dragged him to the shore. In the meantime, others had also gathered near the river. They started giving him first aid. Labhanshu knew that another person was still drowning. He jumped into the water again and looked far and wide into the river stream. The other person had been swept far away by the river flow. As Labhanshu saw his head and hands, he moved towards him. He had fainted as he had swallowed water. Labhanshu pulled him out as well and brought him to the shore. He put him upside down and drained the water from his stomach. Thus, both lives were saved. As the word spread in Rishikesh, everyone began to admire the bravery and timely action of Labhanshu. Everyone was looking at him in the Rishikesh market. Labhanshu was honored by the Chief Minister of the state at Dehradun, and his name was sent for Rashtriya Virta Puraskar. On 24th January 2015, Labhanshu was awarded the National Bal Virta Puraskar in presence of distinguished dignitaries such as the Prime Minister, President, Vice President, and the Lieutenant Governor of Delhi. 14 Lamp in the dark. Nisha jumps into the fire to save the little one. It was 14th January 2016. Place a small village in Maharashtra. Kasturibai has a son and a daughter. The son was put to study in the school this year. The daughter was barely 6 months old. Nisha, Nanki, is in the house. If she wakes up, will you'll see, Kasturibai told her neighbor's daughter who was playing outside. Okay auntie, Nisha said. However, her focus was on playing. While playing, suddenly Nisha looked towards Kasturibai's house. Smoke was coming out from the window. Nisha looked around and saw no one. She went to Kasturibai's house and heard the little girl crying. She tried to open the door, but since Kasturibai had put the chain latch on top of the door, Nisha could not reach there. She got an idea. She brought the cot lying in the courtyard to the door, stood it up and opened the chain latch. Upon opening the door, she saw fire. Flames had spread all around the house. The fire had reached the center of the house where the cradle was tied to wooden poles. Without a second thought, Nisha jumped amidst the flames to save the toddler. As she approached the cradle of the little girl, burning wood fell in the middle. She felt it was difficult to survive now. Though the flames were fast spreading around her, without losing courage, she walked towards the cradle and picked up the crying baby girl wrapped in a cloth. When Nisha came out with the child, she saw Kasturibai crying for help. Hearing her voice, people living nearby rushed there. While some were spraying water, others were trying to extinguish the fire with sand. Nisha's presence of mind had saved the life of a 6-month-old baby girl. Dilip Patil was very proud of his daughter Nisha. Her bravery, presence of mind, and courage began to be praised throughout the village. Nisha was felicitated by the Sarpanch and leaders of the village. Kasturibai was not tired of blessing her. She felt like Nisha had given a new life to her little daughter. This was also mentioned in newspapers coming from a nearby city. Nisha Dilip Bhai Patil's name was sent for the National Bravery Award by Bal Kalyan Parishad Maharashtra. Nisha went to New Delhi where the National Bravery Awards were presented at the hands of the Prime Minister of the country. 24th January 2017. 15. Aditya Suresh. Aditya Suresh, a 16-year-old boy from Kollam district of Kerala, was diagnosed with a rare disease which causes frequent bone fractures. As he couldn't go out to play, he developed a passion for music at the age of 4. He is an amazing singer and has performed at more than 600 music shows. Aditya's passion for music and his hard work has helped him achieve success. The country is proud of Aditya and his strong willpower. He did not lose hope despite of his illness. He received the Pradhan Mantri Rashtriya Bal Puraskar for Innovation on India's Republic Day, 26th January 2023. 16. Aditya Pratap Singh Chauhan. All of us are well aware of the problems that plastic is causing to Mother Nature. When the world is struggling to find alternatives to plastic, Aditya Pratap Singh Chauhan, a 17-year-old boy from Chhattisgarh, has developed a device called Micropa, which detects microplastics in water. Microplastics are tiny plastic particles which can have dangerous impact on our health. Aditya's innovation is cost-effective and it will help us in removing the microplastics from water. Aditya Chauhan received the Pradhan Mantri Rashtriya Bal Puraskar for Innovation on 26th January 2023. 17. Rohan Ramchandra Bahir. This story revolves around a 15-year-old boy named Rohan Ramchandra Bahir, who displayed great bravery and fearlessness. A woman had come to wash clothes at the banks of Domri River in the city of Rajouri. Suddenly she fell into the river and started drowning. Rohan was quick enough to notice this happening. Without giving it a second thought, he risked his life and jumped into the river and fortunately saved the 43-year-old woman from drowning. His act of bravery was very much appreciated by the Prime Minister, and he was awarded the Pradhan Mantri Rashtriya Bal Puraskar by the President of India on 26th January 2023. He is not only brave, but also a very kind and generous human. He has donated the prize money of 1 lakh rupees received to his village for Ganesh Chaturthi celebrations. The saying goes, the brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear. Rohan's story inspires us to always help someone in need. Also, it makes us realize to get out of our comfort zone and achieve what we are afraid of. 18. Anushka Jolie. Anushka Jolie developed an anti-bullying app called Kavach that enables children parents to report bullying incidents anonymously with a provision for school managements to access them. This application has been very helpful to a lot of students to overcome this problem of bullying in schools and universities across the country. Anushka also started an anti-bullying squad in Gurugram that is spreading awareness about this issue by empowering young and old to stand up for themselves and for others. 19. Hanaya Nisar. Hanaya Nisar, who hails from Jammu and Kashmir, studies in class I1th in Government Model Higher Secondary School in Anantnag district. She has bagged a gold medal for the country in the 3rd World Ski Championship held in South Korea at a very tender age. Along with this, she has also bagged multiple medals at both national and international levels. She advises everyone to learn self-defense for their own safety. Hanaya has made India proud by achieving so much at such a young age. 20. Kolatala Alana Meenakshi. Kolgatia Alana Meenakshi is a 11-year-old girl from the city of Vizag in Andhra Pradesh. She started playing chess at the age of 7. Meenakshi practices chess for 8 hours every day. During tournaments, her game lasts for about 6 hours. She represented India at the Online Asia Nations Cup Under 14 Girls Team Chess Championship 2022 and is ranked world number 2 in the Under 10 category of the International Chess Federation. She was also ranked world number 1 in the Under 11 Girls category. Meenakshi says that in order to become a professional chess player, hard work, talent, and seriousness are very important. One should be willing to work a lot, even though sometimes it gets very stressful. Strategy and confidence will keep you going in the game. Before every game, Meenakshi makes sure to check who she is playing against, prepare against them, and make note of their weaknesses and strengths. 21. M. Gauravi Reddy. Gauravi Reddy, a Telangana resident, was very much interested in dancing since childhood. Soon her interest grew into passion, and nothing could stop her from achieving great heights in the field of dancing. She learned classical dance and became an expert in this dance form. Classical dance is a great mode of expressing inner feelings and developing self-confidence. It teaches children the value of rich literary and cultural heritage of India. She was the youngest nominee to the International Dance Council in 2016 at a tender age of 16. She received Rashtriya Bal Puraskar on Republic Day for representing India's culture at an international level. This a proud moment for all Indians. 22. Sambhab Mishra. Sambhab was always a curious child. He had a desire to know or learn something new. He created the smallest DIY working model of washing machine and was awarded with the Indian Book of Records. He was also awarded the Fellowship of the Royal Asiatic Society of London, which is the highest honor in South Asian humanities. Sambhab has written 3 books. He had also been selected for Deen Dayal Sparsh Yojana Scholarship Program. He also received the Rashtriya Bal Puraskar. 23. Rishi Shiv Prasanna. Rishi is an 8-year-old talented boy who received the prestigious Pradhan Mantri Rashtriya Bal Puraskar. He is the youngest member of Mensa International, which is the most prestigious society of people with high IQ. He learnt coding at a tender age of 5 and has developed 3 Android applications. They include Asterisk IQ Test App for Kids, Countries of the World and CHB. He is one of the youngest YouTubers, and he shares knowledge on science-related topics. At the age of 3, he spoke about the solar system, planets and the universe. Rishi is known to have an IQ of 180, which is very high when compared to normal people. Rishi wants to become a scientist when he grows up and wishes to contribute to the society and the country. 24. Shauryajit. Ranjit Kumar Khaire. Shauryajit is a 10-year-old, immensely talented Mallakhambh player who was awarded with Pradhan Mantri Rashtriya Bal Puraskar. Mallakhambh is one of the oldest sports in Indian history. In this, a gymnast performs aerial yoga postures and wrestling grips on vertical stationary or hanging wooden pole, cane or rope. He became the youngest medalist in the 36th National Games that were held in Gujarat in 2022. 25. Shreya Bhattacharjee. Shreya Bhattacharjee won the Pradhan Mantri Rashtriya Bal Puraskar in the field of art and culture. She is 12 years old and hails from Assam. She holds a record of playing tabla for the longest duration at international level. She is a recipient of various awards, winner in All Northeast Tabla Solo Competition, All India Pandit Rupak Kulkarni Music Competition and All India Tabla Solo Competition. She also won a gold medal at the 9th Cultural Olympiad of Performing Arts. Shreya's parents also play tabla and sing. So, she gradually started developing interest in this field. She started playing tabla at an early age of 3, when her dad was her coach. Her music teachers in school have encouraged her a lot. It was Shreya's dream to meet the Prime Minister and the President of India. She feels very happy on receiving the award and says it is now her. 26. Sacrifice of dog Vaghya, meaning tiger. Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj had a dog. Its name was Vaghya. It was an extremely loyal and faithful to Shivaji. It never ever ate anything before Shivaji ate. Sometimes Shivaji took Vaghya with him in wars. They both loved each other very much. Vaghya performed bravely in several wars. Vaghya is like an icon of loyalty and love. Everything was going smoothly. One day Shivaji fell ill and was bedridden. Vaghya became very sad. It sat by Shivaji Maharaj's bed. Shivaji was suffering from severe fever and was not able to eat anything. Vaghya also stopped eating. Days went by. 10 days passed. Many doctors and hakims came, but none made Shivaji fit to sit. His fever was as it is. He had stopped eating. Along with him, Vaghya also sat for 10 days without taking a single morsel in his mouth. Shivaji's ministers, friends and other people tried a lot, but Vaghya did not eat. This was talk of the town. No one had ever seen such a loyal dog before. But how did the people know that the extremes of loyalty still existed? Vaghya did not eat as many days as Shivaji Maharaj and remained hungry and cried. Finally, Shivaji died. There was an uproar in his kingdom. Thousands of people joined his funeral procession. Mahayodha Shivaji Maharaj was given a tearful farewell. Tears did not stop rolling out of people's eyes. The condition of Vaghya was the worst. He also cried and became unconscious. Shivaji's body was brought to the crematorium. Vaghya was longing to embrace his master. It was not under anyone's control. The soldiers barely managed to hold it as Shivaji's body was set on fire. A groan rose from the crowd. The soldiers also cried. The soldier holding Vaghya put it down for a while. In split seconds, Vaghya ran towards the funeral pyre. Before people could even think about it, Vaghya jumped into Shivaji Maharaj's burning funeral pyre. With Shivaji, Vaghya also burnt in the fire. All those present were aghast. The groans became deafening. People became awestruck seeing so much love, so much loyalty of a dog towards its owner. This case is proof enough that no one is as loyal as a dog. Even today, Vaghya's statue can be seen on top of Raigad Fort. Vaghya's Samadhi has also been built next to Shivaji Maharaj's Samadhi in Raigad. Vaghya's Samadhi is not a mere Samadhi but a living symbol of loyalty. Dog's loyalty is the best loyalty in the world. 27. Acharya Shri Labdhi Surishwarji Maharaj Sahib. Acharya Shri Labdhi Surishwarji had great faith in the powers of Jainism to uplift all living beings, and in his later years, he wished to spread this message across the oceans. He was born as Lalchand at Balshasan, a village in Sabarkantha district in Gujarat in VS 19401883 AD. There was no school in the village, so his father taught him alphabets and digits. He was further educated at Mansa while residing with his maternal aunt. There he came in contact with Acharya Shrika. The presence of President Shri Kedarnath for 45 minutes on Mercy. The audience was spellbound by his oratory. President declared Shri Labdhi Vijayji as the best orator. 3 chits were sent by Sri Lala Lajpat Rai to the president to stop the lecture of Sri Labdhi Vijayji, but he threw them in dustbin. During his visit to Delhi in VS 1970, he delivered lectures at the Rama Theatre with remarkable success. As a result, many people became staunch vegetarians. 28 Kalikal Sarvagna Hemchandrezuriji Maharaj Sahib. This story dates back 900 years. The present town of Dhandhuka on the Ahmedabad-Palitana highway was a big city those days. A wealthy merchant named Chach and his wife Pahini lived there happily. They just had one regret of not having a child. One fine night Pahini had a dream that she had attained the precious gem Chinthamani and handed it over to Gurudev. In the morning, the couple worshipped Arihants in the temple and went to the Upashraya, temporary shelter for Jain saints. Param Pujya Acharya Shri Devchandra Sureshwar Maharaj was present in the Upashraya. Pahini narrated her dream to Acharya Bhagwant. Pujya Devchandra Suri Maharaj replied, Pahini, you will give birth to a son who will eventually take Diksha, monkhood, and became a great Acharya in the history of Jainism. On Vikram Samvat 1145, 1089 AD, the full moon day of the month of Kartik, Pahini became Mother Pahini. In an auspicious hour, she gave birth to a charming son. That very moment, they heard a divine voice, this little kid will become a great Acharya in the history of Jainism, and like the Sarvagna Arihants, he will have complete knowledge about all the elements. He named his son Changadev. Devchandra Suri Maharaj said, Pahini, remember your dream. You have to hand over this gemstone to Gurudev. Today, unknowingly this kid has come and sit on my asan seat. This little child can glorify Jainism. Hence, hand him over to me. Pahini replied, Gurudev, I need to take permission of his father merchant Chach also. Devendra Suri Maharaj talked to Merchant Chach and gained his permission. Taking little Changadev along with him, he moved ahead in the direction of Stambhan Tirth Khambat. Upon reaching Khambat, Devchandrezuri Maharaj addressed the minister of Gujarat, this is Changadev, merchant Chach's son from Dhandhuka. You have to celebrate his Diksha with great pomp and show. 14th day of the bright half of the month of Magh on Vikram Samvat 1154, 1099 AD, 9-year-old Changadev acquired the precious Rajohar. Changadev now became Balmuni Somchandra. Somchandra began to study scriptures from his Gurudev and acquired all his knowledge. Once Balmuni Somchandra, with Gurudev's permission, reached the holy pilgrimage place of Girnar to perform Saraswati sadhana. At night, he started meditation of Goddess Saraswati and a miracle took place. Goddess Saraswati herself appeared before the Balmuni and blessed him with a boon, may you become Siddha Saraswat. A person who is the most learned among all because of the blessing of Goddess Saraswati. She then disappeared. Balmuni narrated the entire incident to his Gurudev, who was also glad and blessed him. Seeing his sharp intelligence, strict conduct, humility, and the strength to spread the glory of Jainism far and wide, Gurudev gave him the prestigious Acharya Padvi designation on the 3rd day of the bright half month of Vaishakh in the year VS 11661110 AD. At a young age of just 21 years. His new name Acharya Shri Hemchandrezuri Maharaj becomes famous. Kalikal Sarvagna had turned the king of 18 countries, Kumarpal, into a strict follower of Jainism by his impactful discourses. So, Pandit Debodhi started exhibiting his miraculous powers out of jealousy. King Kumarpal was now confused. Minister Udyan advised him, O king, Kalikal Sarvagna Shri is also an expert in many fields. He too has many powers. We should take his opinion also. Next day, the king accompanied with Devbodhi and other ministers went to the Upashre and bowed down in the feet of Kalikal Sarvagna Shri Hemchandrazuriji Maharaj. Acharya Shri began his discourse sitting on the 7th platform. Bottom 6 platforms were removed one by one. Seated without support in air, Acharya Shri continued his discourse. Everyone present were astonished. After that, Kalikal Sarvagna Shri led King Kumarpal in a room and showed his forefathers who were worshipping the 24 Tirthankars. They addressed the king, Kumarpal, Jain religion is a true and superior religion. We have all the present prosperity because you are practicing Jainism. Kalikal Sarvagna Shri then told the puzzled king, King, I and Devbodhi both showed you your forefathers, but it was all a mere illusion. There is no truth in this. Only and only the Jain religion is true. Thus King Kumarpal's faith in Jainism strengthened. Once Kalikal stated, a true Shravak should not step out of his house for the 4 months of monsoon because rains cause many living organisms to come on the road. If we step out, then these organisms are hurt by us. At times they might die also. Hearing this, King Kumarpal took a vow, except for going to the temple and Upashre, I will not step out of my house during monsoons. A Muslim Shak king, he received the news of Kumarpal's vow and proceeded towards Gujarat for war. When this news reached Kumarpal, he immediately adjourned his meeting and went to Hemchandrazuri Maharaj. The king revealed his anxiety to his Gurudev. Hemchandrazuriji answered, religion will surely protect you. Thus he consoled the king and sat in meditation. Within an hour, a bed appeared from the sky and stood still right in front of Kalikal Sarvagna Shri with someone sleeping on it. Kumarpal asked Acharya Shri, Gurudev, how did this bed appear and who is this person? Gurudev replied, this person is the king of Shak. He was coming here to attack your kingdom. Meanwhile, the king of Shak woke up from sleep and was confused. He started looking all around trying to make out where he was. Acharya Shri told the king of Shak, what are you seeing? A person who protects his religion, the directions also protect him. The savior of religion Kumarpal has brought you here. If you want to go alive, surrender yourself to him. The king of Shak fell in Kumarpal's feet and pleaded to free him. King Kumarpal said, if you promise to implement ahimsa, complete non-violence, in your state for 6 months every year, then I will surely free you. King of Shak accepted Kumarpal's condition. He enters into a friendship treaty with King Kumarpal. Kumarpal takes him to his palace and respectfully sends him off to his kingdom. Kalikal Sarvagna Shri Hemchandrazurishwarji's respect and fame had increased tremendously in King Kumarpal's royal court. The king was attracted by Acharya Shri's sharp intelligence, wit and logic. Many other learned men in the court were jealous of him and tried to put him down in front of the king, but they were unsuccessful. Kalikal Sarvagna Shri Hemchandrazurishwarji Maharaj authored many scriptures like Shidahem Shabdanushasan, Abhidhan Chintamni, Dhatu Parayan, Linganushasan, Ekarth or Anekarth Kosh, Praman Mimansha, Alankar Chudamani, Deshinam Mala, Nighantu, Yog Shastra, Vitrag Stotra etc. He has created scriptures totaling 3 crores 50 lakhs verses in all and done the work equivalent to that of 9 acharyas. This massive work in such a short lifespan is impossible without the blessings of Devguru Dharma and Mother Saraswati. Shiddhahem Shabdanushasan, those days Gujarat did not have an independent grammar of its own. Grammar of Malwa region was studied in Gujarat. In a short time of just 1 year, Hemchandrazurishwarji created the entire grammar comprising of more than 1,25,000 verses. He named this work after joining the first two syllables from Siddhasin and his own name Hemchandra as Siddhahemshaddanushishan. Even to this day, this is the only grammar that Gujarat has, and Gujarati language has evolved based on this only. Trishastisalaka Purush Charitra, an epic tale describing the life story of 63 Shalaka Purush, great men, which includes 24 Tirthankar, 12 Chakravarti, 9 Baldev, 9 Vasudev and 9 Prativasudev. This epic tale has 36,000 verses in Sanskrit language. In his short lifespan, Hemchandrazuriji 1. Imparted knowledge to 2 kings. 2. Was expert of grammar. 3. Was expert in philosophy. 4. Was expert in mantra, tantra, yoga. 5. Was an expert speaker. 6. Had skill to develop new scriptures. 7. Had skill to give discourse on ancient scriptures. 8. Was expert in rhetoric. 9. Was expert in art of creating rhyme. Seeing Kalikal Sarvagnashri's amazing caliber, King Kumarpal employed 700 writers to write new scriptures authored by him. We bow down to Kalikal Sarvagnashri's strength of creating new scriptures. We bow down to King Kumarpal's devotion of getting these scriptures written. Thus, Kalikal Sarvagnashri wrote a golden page in the history of Jainism. He glorified Jainism immensely. He attained Kaldharma, reached heavenly abode, at the age of 84 in the year VS 1229, 1173 AD. 29. Acharya Shri Padliptasuriji Maharaj Sahib. Acharya Shri Padliptasuriji's life is an illustrious example of rare combination of miracles achieved through unusual power and books composed with the sheer strength of imagination. He was born in Ayodhya, situated on the banks of Saryu and Ganga. His father Fullachandra was a rich businessman and his mother Pratima was a beautiful and virtuous woman. It was because of Pratima's penance and worship that she had acquired a gem of a son. The boy was named Nagendra since at the time of his birth the mother had a dream of Nag, serpent. From early childhood Nagendra was brought up in a religious environment. Moreover, he was fortunate enough to have the guidance and patronage of an efficient guru like Naghasti, and he came to be known as Muni Nagendra. Once he had gone for collecting alms, Guchari. Upon returning to the Upashre, a place for the stay of Jain monks and nuns, he told his guru, in a shloka composed by him, how a young newly married beautiful woman had offered alms to him. On listening to such amorous description of a woman, the guru was enraged at the disciple and said, "You are burning with the fire of passion. You have fallen." Muni Nagendra was quick-witted, and he requested the guru in a polite tone, "Be kind enough to add one more A sound and make me Padlipt from Palit. It meant kindly initiate me into the Padlipt knowledge so that I shall be able to fly in the sky and be known as Padlipta." Greatly impressed by the unusual intelligence of Muni Nagendra, the guru blessed him, "May you be Padlipta." He acquired the miraculous power of flying by applying ointment at the bottom of his feet. By this power, he used to make a pilgrimage daily to the 5 Tirths, Shatrunajay, Girnar, Ashtapda, Samekshikhara and Mathura, and only then would he accept water and food. He had also acquired 4 other Siddha Vidyas, supernatural powers, namely Jivajivotpati Prabhrut, Vidya Prabhrut, Siddha Prabhrut and Nimitta Prabhrut. Once, proudly, Nagarjun sent him a vessel containing Kotividras, which could make gold out of stone or iron. Acharya Padliptasuri, on the other hand, just sprinkled his urine to turn stone and metal into gold. Then Nagarjun stayed there and acquired the Akashgamini Vidya, knowledge of flying in the sky, from him. Padliptacharya advised him to follow Jainism, which he obeyed. He established a town named Padliptapur at the foothills of Sri Shatrunjaya Mahatirth, which is now known as Palitana. Acharya Shri wrote a story named Tarangavati in Prakrit language. This book holds a unique place in the world of fiction. He also composed books like Nirvankalik, Prashnaprak, Kal Gyan and commentary on Jyotish Karandak and Vairstuti. He fasted for 32 days on Sri Shatrunjaya Tirtha and attained a glorious death. 30. Acharya Shri Bapabatti Suriji Maharaj Sahib. Bapabatti Suriji was versatile in interpretation of scriptures and model of celibacy. He was born in AD 743 in the village of Duva in Banaskantha. He was named Surpal in childhood. Once when Acharya Siddh Sinsuri was in Modhera, he dreamt of a young lion leaping over a place of worship. Next morning when he went to the Jain temple and saw a bright-looking and dignified young boy, he remembered his previous night's dream. Soon he called Surpal's father Bappa and mother Bhatti. With due regards for their son's brilliance and determination, the parents handed him over to the religious master on his request. Upon initiation into monkhood, Surpal was named Bappa Bhatti. He then acquired intensive knowledge of books, logic and 72 arts skills. Bappa Bhatti Suri gave advice to King Am of Kanyakubja, and as a reward the king wanted to hand over half of the kingdom to him. However, Bappa Bhatti Suri acquainted the king with the concept of non-possessive vow of a Jain monk. King Am was extremely impressed by his poetic composition, but he wanted to test his scholarship and celibacy. So the king sent him a young courtesan dressed as a male. Bappa Bhatti Suri requested the courtesan to go back. She bowed to Bappa Bhatti Suri as he conquered the Cupid. King Am came to know this and became overjoyed. Once, King Dharmaraja organized a scriptural debate between Bappa Bhatti representing King Am and Vardhankunjar, the learned scholar representing King Dharmaraja. In this battle of scholarship, Bappa Bhatti Suri came out victorious and was honored with the title of Vadikunjar Kesri. Bappa Bhatti Suriji turned this victory in the battle of arts into an occasion of harmony and dialogue. Over the years, there had existed severe enmity between King Am and Dharmaraja. Bappa Bhatti Suri explained them the significance of forgiveness and brought about a reconciliation. Bappa Bhatti Suri had greatly influenced Vakpati, an ascetic from Mathura. Under the impact of Bappa Bhatti Suri's preaching, the king accepted Jainism in the last years of his life. Bappa Bhatti Suri had composed many books of which Chaturvinshati and Saraswati Stotra are available even now. He also inspired people for the construction of numerous Jain temples. Shri Bappa Bhatti Suri is a great Acharya of Jain religion. He was as much competent in theological debating as he was in composing spiritual literature. His strong character, extensive knowledge and deep-seated religious faith had greatly impressed the ruler. 31. Acharya Shri Abhadev Suriji Maharaj Sahib. Abhadev Suriji has earned immense fame by composing Sanskrit commentaries on 9 Jain Agams, Jain canonical literature. These commentaries provide a key to the innermost deep meaning of Jain Agam literature. Besides being brief and well-worded, these commentaries depict and discuss many topics. Thus his name ranks at the top of those acharyas who have written books with a view to immortalizing the pure tradition of Jainagam. It is so said that one night when Acharya Abhadev Suri was engrossed in meditation, the Shasandevi, guardian goddess, appeared before him and said that the commentaries of 2 Agams, namely Acharang and Suttarkritang, were well preserved, but other commentaries were lost and destroyed with the passage of time. The goddess then asked him to make efforts to fill this deficiency for the benefit of Sri Sangh congregation. Acharya Abhyadev Suri accepted this enormous task. He commenced the writing of commentary by performing I am built up type of religious austerity. After prolonged and laborious efforts, he completed volumes of commentaries on Angayagam canonical text. Meanwhile, he developed a leukoderma-like disease. His opponents spread the rumor that Mother Goddess had cursed him with the disease, as a penalty for having wrongly interpreted the scriptures. Acharya Abhyadev Suri invoked Shasanrakshak Dev, guardian god Dharanendra at night. When Dharnendra appeared before him, Acharya said, "O heavenly God, I am least afraid of death, but I can't endure the false charges, criticism with malified intentions and slandering that some people level against me ever since I am affected with the disease. Hence, I have decided to fast until death." Shasanrakshak Dev Dharanendra assured Abhyadev Suri that he was innocent and provided him necessary guidance. As guided, Abhyadev Suri, together with Shravak Sangh congregation, came at the banks of river Sidhi in Stambhandram. Acharya Shri discovered the place where a cow was yielding milk automatically. Soon he composed a stotra of 32 shlokas entitled Jayati Huya. As soon as the stotra was composed, a very ancient jewelled idol of Sri Stambhan Parshvanath emerged from under the ground. Sri Sangh performed all the rituals of bathing the idol, and as soon as this holy water was sprinkled on Acharya Abhyadev Suri, he was cured. The same idol is now at Khambhat. Acharya Shri attained Kaldharm, Swargarohan reached heavenly abode at Kapdavanj in Gujarat, and his Samadhi, a memorial structure, exists in Tapgacha Upashraya there.